In this video, I'll be helping you with the ALEKS problem type called writing an equation of a hyperbola given the foci and the asymptotes, basic. I've included a graph here because I think it's helpful to actually draw the information that's being given. And I'll start with the foci of 0, -4, and 0, 4. Graphing those, I can see we have one foci here, the other foci here, and our asymptotes are y equals x and y equals -x. That gives us both asymptotes. And before I start finding the equation, I want to be able to identify which way this hyperbola is opening. And since the foci are up and down, and they are on the transverse axis, we have a vertical transverse axis. So it will be opening up and down, but importantly, whenever it is vertical, the standard form will be the version that leads with the y minus k squared. And again, I know this because of the vertical opening. And from here, I can start to identify all of the pieces. First, I can see that the center is exactly between our two foci, also where these asymptotes cross. And that is at the origin 0, 0. So our center 0, 0 means that h is 0 and k is 0. So our numerators will just be y minus 0 squared and minus 0 squared. Other pieces of information that I know is that from the center to the foci, this distance is c, and here that distance is 4. So c is 4. And we don't need c in order to write the equation. I do need a and b. And for that, I can use the slope of these asymptotes come from the rise, which is the variable under the y, and the run, which is the variable under the x, which here is b. So our two slopes are positive a over b and negative a over b. And the slopes of these are 1 and -1. So that means a over b would have to be 1 and -1. So solving here, I can see that a is equal to b. So once I found one of them, I'll have found the other. And the only relationship that I have left to use is with c. We know that c squared equals a squared plus b squared. C is 4, so c squared is 16. And since we know that a equals b, I can substitute any of them for the other. So if I want to replace b with a, since they're the same thing, to solve this, I have 16 equals a squared plus, replacing b with a, I would have a second a squared. Now I only have one variable. 16 equals 2a squared. Solving for a squared, 8 equals a squared. And I don't actually need to find a because I'm substituting in a squared. A squared is 8. I can put my 8 down here. And since a and b are the same, that means b squared must also be 8. This would be the equation of our hyperbola.